And we will only have one card, so let's play that. See what our hand gives us here. We got another Smash, we got a Maui, we got a big team. There is Gantu. When all the legendaries were revealed for Chapter 1, a meme started happening with Gantu because he's one of the less meta desirable ones, but I'm here to tell you, he's an okay card. Jokes aside, I've been running a few different decks trying to get Gantu a win, and I think I may have found at least a starting point for this deck. This is a Sapphire ramp into big stuff deck. The goal for this deck is to get to 8 ink as fast as possible to drop any of our high cost cards in Hades, Simba, Maui, or Gantu. Now, I'm not here to tell you this deck is good or the ratios are perfect, but this deck is honestly a blast to play, and I look forward to developing it more. Let's get into the deck profile, and then I have quite a doozy of a game at the end showing this deck's lasting power. We'll start off with all our ramp cards, which we run 4 each of, starting with Gramma Tala Storyteller. This card lets us place her in our inkwell whenever she is banished in a challenge. This effect does work on our turn, so we can send her into something bigger and banish her to ramp our ink. Next up with Mickey Mouse Detective, which when played lets us place the top card of our deck into our inkwell. This is the same effect that song One Jump Ahead has, and a neat combo is singing One Jump Ahead with Gramma Tala if your opponent doesn't have anything for us to challenge. Other sapphires we have are 4 copies of Flounder, Voice of Reason. This card is just the typical 1-cost inkable 2/2 line, and is in here just for early board presence. We also run 3 copies of Maleficent Uninvited. This card is in here because she is a base 3 lore quester, but also she is one of our 5-cost options that can sing the 5-cost seal songs. We run 2 copies of Hades Infernal Schemer, who is in here to help us deal with any pesky characters the opponent has, letting us put them into the opponent's inkwell when he is played. Our final sapphire is 4 copies of Develop Your Brain. This card lets us look at the top 2 cards of our deck and put 1 in our hand and 1 at the bottom of the deck. Since this deck will run lean on resources due to all the ramping, this is great to try and find a much needed piece. Moving on to Steel, we start off with 4 copies of Simba Future King. Just like Flounder, this is a good inkable 1-cost card that lets us draw a card and discard a card when played. We have 4 copies of Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, which can be exerted to draw a card, then discard a card, but also is a shift target for Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. We run 2 copies of Han's 13th in line. This card is okay. I started with 4 because I thought his effect would be more useful, but I've cut him down to 2 because it is sort of situational, but he is inkable, so I believe 2 is a good spot for him. We run 3 copies of Beast Hardheaded, which when played lets us banish a chosen item. This is a great tech card against opponents who run items like Shield of Virtue or Magic Mirror, but like Maleficent, he is also a 5-cost that can sing our songs. This brings us to 2 copies of Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. This is another card that I've played around with quantities, going back and forth between 2 and 3, and honestly I'm not sure which one is best. This card is just a great damage dealer. We run 2 copies of Simba Returned King. This card is our tech against evasives, since he gains evasive on our turn while also having 8 strength on our turn. Next up is 3 copies of Maui Demigod, which is just a big character who quests for 3. Finally, onto our namesake, 4 copies of Gantu, Galactic Federation Captain. While this card can be kind of beamish, its effect that characters with cost 2 or less can't challenge our characters really does help when we have a board with a few big characters. This forces our opponent to use their big characters to do any damage. For Steel actions, we run 4 copies of Smash, which is just good generic damage dealing. For songs, we run 3 copies of A Whole New World, which makes both players discard their hands and draw 7 new cards. Since we commit so fast to ramping early game, we often are low on cards, and this is a great reset. We run 2 copies of Grab Your Sword. This is another card I go back and forth between 2 and 3 copies, but with its strong effect against go-wide decks, I wouldn't fault you for running more than 2. Our final card is 2 copies of Beast Mirror. Like mentioned with A Whole New World, we are often low on cards, and this lets us pay 3 ink if our hand is empty to draw a card. This card is much more situational, but it is inkable. Now let's get into some gameplay. Looks like we are going to be going first today. Got like a couple ramp cards, 3 ramp cards. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Hans and the Tinkerbell. We get Beast, Grab Your Sword, pretty decent line here. We will just go ahead and ink Develop Your Brain. And then play Flounder and pass. Opponent is on an amber deck. They ink Maximus and pass. We get another Flounder. Just go ahead and ink that. We don't need more than one on the board. Then get Gramma Tala out and quest with Flounder. I'm going to ink Kuna Matata. Play a Be Our Guest. Get a Mother Gothel. So they are Amber Emerald. We'll need to watch out for Mother Knows Best when we get our big guys out. We're going to go ahead and sing one jump ahead with our Grandma Tala. Get the Mickey Mouse. Get up to 5 ink here. And quest and pass. Ink Mr. Smee. Play an Ariel. Song are they going to get? Kuna Matata, alright. Draw another Hans here. I'm going to go ahead and just play him. And then I'm just going to go ahead and quest. We'll put the pressure on. They ink a Cinderella. And they're just going to take out our Flounder. That's alright. We got a couple lore from him already. And then a Rapunzel to heal and draw. Alright, we get a smash. I'm going to go ahead and ink this beast. Doesn't look like they're going to have items out. They may have a lantern, but we'll go ahead and smash this Ariel so they can't sing their 5 costs. And then I'm just going to go ahead and quest. And then I can put some damage on this Rapunzel. It's just one, but might as well start with it. They're going to take out our Grandma Tala, which, again, that's fine. We'll get to add her to our inkwell here. I'm going to ink a Be Our Guest. Play a Maximus to protect their Rapunzel. And it's our turn here. Go ahead and play. Ah, look at that. A whole new world. Perfect. They have a full hand. And we will only have 1 card. So let's play that. See what our hand gives us here. We got another smash. We got a Maui. We got a big team. There is Gantu. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and ink this Maui. And then play this Beast Mirror. And then I'm just going to go ahead and quest and add onto the Rapunzel here. They're going to ink a Genie and take out our Hans. They do have that Hakuna Matata in their hand, so they can heal. They got it. Oh no, they had to discard it. There is their Hakuna Matata. And they're going to play a Genie. And our turn, we get another Maui. We go ahead and get this Hans just to get rid of that Bodyguard Maximus. And then I am going to quest with Mickey and pass. I'm going to do another Be Our Guest. Get a Jasper. Okay. That's another one that can kind of control our big ones here. They're going to take out our Mickey Mouse and play the Jasper. And another Genie. We draw a Simba, which we don't really need right now. We got our big guys in hand. Go ahead and Tinkerbell just to add some damage. And then I'm just going to take out their Rapunzel. And then I'm going to smash to get rid of the Jasper just so it's not a threat next turn. And then go ahead and pass. Oh, man. All right. Well, I want the Gantu. I'll discard the other 2. Might not be the smartest choice, but probably the fun choice. All right. They got a Rapunzel. They're going to heal up their Ariel. And our turn. Going to go ahead and ink this Tinkerbell. We already have a big one in play. And drop our big Gantu. Their genies can't attack us right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and quest. We're up 17-0. They'll probably have control ways to kind of stall us out here, but I think we are right. They're going to take out our Hades. And there's another Jasper. They're going very wide. There is the first Mother Knows Best to pop our Gantu back. Get another Simba. I'm just going to throw him out since we're only 3 away. We're just going to start loading the board up here. Get Gantu out again. And then I'm going to go ahead and knock out this Rapunzel. And then I can put 2 damage onto that other beast to knock it out. And then it's the opponent's turn here. Part of your world here. Get their beast back. And then play it. And it has rush, so they can go ahead and trade with our Tinkerbell. And they're going to quest with Jasper. I would assume to lock out our Gantu. And quest with both their genies. Oh, nope, they're going to Mother Knows Best our Gantu. So they locked out our Simba. We do get a Maui. I'm going to go ahead and put him out there just to put pressure out. And then pass. They're going to again quest with Jasper. Again, assume to lock out Maui this time. And quest with, looks like, the rest of their cards here. And they are going to play a, yep. So they did lock out our Maui. All right, I'm going to go ahead and Tinkerbell to put damage out there. And then I will trade Simba here into one of their genies. And then I will take out their Jasper. They have another Be Our Guest. Get another Jasper. Looks like they're just going to, yep, use up cards to take out Maui. All right. I'm going to get our Gantu back in play. And then quest up to 19. See what kind of responses they have. They have a Steal from the Rich, so they are going to knock us down 2. Which stinks here. Assume they have something. Yep. I forgot. Jasper will lock us out, so we'll just go ahead and drop Mickey Mouse to ramp up. And then get Gramma Tala on board. And then we are going to Beast Mirror. We see a Mickey. I'm going to go ahead and take out this Jasper, because then I can use Tinkerbell's ability to put 2 damage to knock out the Ariel. And then pass. I have a Rapunzel. Oh, they're done. Yep. There's a concession. All right. I hope this showed that this deck could potentially be viable. Let me know what you think about it, what kind of ratios need to change. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and then consider subscribing for more Lorcana content.